back to today's last slice of loose news and views. Thank you for your emails today. Jane's got one, I think.
Oh, I have, yes. Oh. Hi, all. Is Colleen sure that it wasn't Shane Jr. Carol was kissing? And that's from Jackie Frost.
It definitely wasn't, because I was at Camber Sands and I think Shane's at Breen Sands, isn't he?
He was, but he might have taken a trip over.
It was. I know what Shane like.
He did send me a text saying, "Mum, we need to talk."
Well, listen, I've got an email here. This is from John. It's about Carol in Huntingdon. Carol, I just can't believe you have disfigured yourself like this. I'm sorry, but your tattoo looks dreadful.
Oh, I told you.
He does, he's right.
You want to have another look?
You look
Yeah,
awful.
let's have a look. Let's see what it looks like.
What on earth possessed you to do that?
What's wrong with it? I don't know what the problem is. It was a joke!
Yeah.
It was a joke, just like the tongue piercing.
get
But
enough
thank you for your concern.
Oh, bless.
Right, when it comes to entertainment, Australians certainly punch above their weight with the likes of Kylie, Nicole Kidman, Mel Gibson, Dame Edna, and our next guest, who's one of the country's most successful musical exports. Having carved out a global career as part of the duo Savage Garden, he's been flying solo for the past 5 years, breaking new ground with his live concerts.
I believe the struggle for financial freedom is unfair. I believe the only ones who disagree are millionaires. I believe in karma, what you give is what you get returned. I believe you can appreciate real love till you've been burned. I believe the grass is no more greener on the other side. I believe you don't know what you got until you say goodbye.
Please welcome Darren Hayes.
I totally believed your tattoo.
Did you believe it?
Yeah, and I was off stage because I've always secretly wanted one and could never commit because I always
Not like
think
that, though.
Oh, sort of, because I think it's kind of sexy to have it there because it looks painful, right?
Yeah.
So that
It makes
shows
you a bit
people you're
brave.
tough.
Yeah.
But then you had, you know, the gentleman on before that wrestled baboons, and I thought, oh, I'm not tough. But that really freaked me out.
It was clever, isn't it? It's good, yeah.
Very good. You wouldn't be
Nobody
tattooed or
questioned that it
pierced or
wasn't
anything?
healed.
I'm not, no. Thanks for asking. No. I once had it in the 90s. I once had a... can you see I've got a hole there? Which looked a bit dodgy, but that's gone.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. You're looking very distinguished, looking very manly. You're looking very grown up.
Butch love, I think, is the word we're
I
looking for.
I just said, I love that you said, I have a bit of a gay crush on you. I do. Yes. And I was told to tell you on camera. Now, wait, you say a lot of gay men...
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, I love you.
And I've got excited that, not that you're all my favourites, really.
Of course, obviously.
I'm kidding.
Don't touch me.
Now listen, we were talking about trust in relationships and having a bit of a squabble.
Yeah, okay.
As to whether you should hold the 5% back, like Jane and Colleen, or be, you know, feet first,
You
and
guys hold
100% like
5%
myself.
of your emotions back?
Oh, you've got to do
not you.
sometimes.
Don't
Love, just
trust
think
me.
No. So I'm the opposite.
So you're married?
Yeah, this is our third wedding anniversary this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and Richard, well, he's amazing, but you just said that I look distinguished, which I love you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because I'm 36, and I think the older that I've gotten, the more comfortable I've gotten my skin.
Right.
And I think that happens in my relationships too. You know, 15 years ago, I was a mess.
Well, would you be more jealous and suspicious?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
I
Spent
think
my
we
whole
all
life
were.
like, what are you looking over there for? What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, you can change the channel.
So you think it's unwise to hold something back? You think you should just go into it?
Yeah, I do, because I think it's all or nothing. I think with trust, you do have to earn it. I understand that, but you have to. It's like I'm not very religious, but it's like a faith in God. You just have to. I think if you're in love, you have to just have a faith that person.
Take the leap.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to waste years.
If they do let you down, you deal with it.
It's
But
not like I sit at home. This is what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
across. It's not like I sit at home and I'm jealous and where are you going? And I don't trust you.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
don't trust
yeah.
you to go to the shop. I've never been more comfortable with someone than I am with Ray, and I love everything about him.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's because when I was younger, really young,
Yeah.
you know, first boyfriends and that, you go in
You get
so
hurt, you get
innocent
hurt.
and you trust them with everything, and it's so shocking when someone lets you down. And I suppose what you're saying is it's a defence thing.
It is a defence thing, but then they also never get all of you. You know?
Want them to, darling.
If you don't give them all of you, you know, why should they give you all of them? And then you've got, you know, you're
And what's
already on
best is
tricky
if they,
ground.
if they screw you over, it's fantastic afterwards because you can be a victim. Which is
Well, it's good for
great.
material for songwriting
Totally.
and things, isn't it? A bit of angst, a bit of
You
tragedy.
hurt me, and I hate you. That's great.
That was a big hit for you, wasn't it?
It's a Eurythmics song, but there you go.
Listen, this is the DVD that's out.
Yeah.
And this was a huge tour for you, very theatrical. Put a bit of your own cash into it.
A lot of
People
my
are
own
usually
cash.
quite reluctant to do.
Yeah, we played at the Albert Hall, which for me, as an Australian, you know, that's a very esteemed thing to do. So that was a big deal. And yeah, it's out this week. It's at #1 in, I can't say the name of the chain store, but yeah, it just came in at #1 this week.
What was the thinking behind it? The time machine? Did you go into a TARDIS?
Sort of, actually. The thinking is about, really, it's nothing to do with time travel. It was really, we do build a time machine on stage, but the idea for me was looking back at my childhood and all the things that hurt me and letting go of them. And the idea was saying, if you could go back in time, what would you change? And the answer, of course, is nothing, because all the things that hurt you make you. And that's sort of the...
So you can't.
No, exactly. Because if you're seeing Back to the Future,
point.
you get erased in the family photographs. But, and that's the point.
Ruin it.
It's about accepting. The only way to really move on from pain or hurt is to say, you know, that made me who I am, and I wouldn't change a thing about who I am today. So that's
Learn from it,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's part of, in my eyes, I think, you know, one of the things about being happy is accepting that that's the case. You can't change anything, and
No.
you've just got to look at it in some kind of positive view, however awful it
It's
is.
hard to do. You guys were talking about feet before,
Yeah.
because I don't mind my feet, and I think it's because I did a lot of yoga, and in yoga you have to sort of look at your whole body, and sometimes you're upside down, and I'm looking at my fat roll, looking at me, just thinking, but, you know...
Embrace it.
Exactly. But when your body sort of, you realise what it does, it's an incredible machine, and you sort of learn to go, you know, I love the skin that I'm in. That's a pretty, you know, that's a pretty powerful feeling.
Well, also, we were hearing that you're, you know, we were all talking about going away to holiday camps and
Yeah.
things as a kid, but with your upbringing where,
Yeah.
where you grew up, what sort of things would you do?
Oh,
Family outings?
I just said to your lovely people before backstage, I don't know if you want me to talk about it on TV, my family holidays were hideous because we were quite poor. And my father was, he had all sorts of jobs, but one of the worst was he was a hunter for dog food, which meant that we had to go out to these family vacations where we would hunt wild boar, and I actually operated the spotlight, and I was a vegetarian. So just imagine how bad that was. So we'd find the poor animal that my father would have to shoot, and I'd be like, run, Skippy, run! But, weirdly, as a child, that seemed really fun because, you know, it was literally out in the West. We're talking like barren, red dirt, like Mad Max territory. And I'd draw in the sand, and I used to think that was just so lovely. So I guess I didn't really care that we were that poor.
Well, listen, all roads have led you to here
Yes,
today. I
yes.
don't know if that's a good thing or not.
It's a good thing.
It's a good
I'm a
thing
big
for
fan. I
us.
watch the
Thank
show.
you so
So
much
thanks
for
for having
joining
me.
us today.
Pleasure.
Darren Hayes, everybody. I'm afraid time's beaten us once again, I'm afraid, but we'll be back at the same time tomorrow when opera starlet Natasha Marsh and singer Liz McClarnon are our guests. Have a great day, and we'll see you then.
Catch up with the girls anytime you like now. They are online with all the gossip, guest clips and video highlights at itv.com/Loose Women. And stay with us here on ITV1 at 2 o'clock. David and the Dealers are discovering diamonds in Dickinson's Real Deal.